Hello, everyone, and welcome to our coverage of the second Player Appreciation Open here at Aegis Games in Bellingham, Washington. My name's Adam.
And I'm Jesse.
And we are very excited to bring you the first top four game. Well, the top four game. The next one, I guess, is the finals.
Semi-finals.
Yeah.
The top four.
These players are both, we cut to top 8, so everyone had, I believe, 8 points or more. And so these players are playing for a prize purse of, I don't remember how much, but that doesn't really matter. The point is, they're all trying to get to the finals. They're all trying to win this. Noble is the current champion.
Current reigning champion, playing for his tournament life on the other side of the bracket.
Yes. So we have Jeremy and Noble out in the main room playing their top 4 match, and then Danielle and Steven here on camera.
Indeed. So we will be seeing Danielle's EM Urgent Rilo deck for the third time today on stream. This is a very hyper-aggressive linear deck built around putting attachments onto primarily your heroes and creating a very large pool of dice that show 2 damage sides very quickly.
Yep.
Into Steven's Starlit Sylvestra deck, which Steven had described to me last night as Jund, which, if you are familiar with Magic the Gathering cards, Jund is the color combination of red, black, and green, traditionally known for very grindy, sort of one-for-one based mid-range strategy.
Indeed. So both Sylvestra and Starlit here let you resolve dice as though they showed draw for Starlit and shield for Sylvestra, which means any 2 sides on his premium dice are going to be either draw or shield based on the scenario, and both of those are great in what you're talking about, this very grindy, slow, one-for-one type of deck.
And they just give you a truly absurd amount of agency, because you basically kind of always get to decide what your dice do, regardless of what you will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is very powerful. That level of consistency, when you're playing a game with the amount of variance that Manifold has, that level of consistency is quite important.
So we're going to start off the game with Battle Ready on Rilo Octane. Battle Ready lets Danielle roll some dice and then modify them, and then Rilo gets to take a damage and modify something into damage. So we start right off the bat on modify 3 into damage. And it looks like Danielle chose to put 5 damage into her pool. Steven has, he likes to put his dice on the cards that create them. So you'll notice that in play. When you see blank dice on Steven's objects, that's because they will be activated to roll those dice. I think that Danielle could run away with this game, but probably won't.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Sylvestra is really good.
I think that Sylvestra Starlit has actually a fantastic matchup here. It's probably so. These are the reasons that I believe that already the game has swung colossally in Steven's favor. Danielle did not play Chain Plasma on turn 1. That's massive.
Yep.
Easily
2 red dice, way better than 2
damage. Yeah, 2 red dice for both the first and second rounds. Incredibly impactful.
Yep.
And also Steven has 2 of his more impactful early plays, including this Enthusiastic Harmonist that is now tapping for a premium dice and 2 black dice.
Yep.
This is going to allow for the potential for even more modify, which will, again, just let Steven use his dice exactly how he wants, and regardless of what he rolls.
Absolutely. And Danielle is taking a weird middle of the road line here. I mean, not weird in terms of her play, but she isn't as aggressive as Chain Plasma Rifle will let her be,
right.
But she also doesn't have removal to deal with this Enthusiastic.
Yes.
So she's not as killy as she wishes, while also not being able to stop anything Steven.
Exactly. And so it's going to be much easier for Steven to play this game in a way that basically makes Danielle stumble post the end of the game, because all that Steven really wants to do here is prolong the game as much as possible, and we're already seeing far from the most explosive start from Danielle. So I think this is a very good sign for Steven down the road.
Yep.
There's certainly combinations of cards that could totally swing that direction. You know, we could see a couple chain plasma rifles come down next turn.
But as it stands right here,
Steven's not going to create a ton of damage this turn, most likely. And
Steven's not playing a type of deck that will kill Rilo in round.
Yeah, so we'll probably see Rilo survive for multiple turns, which is seriously threatening. However,
that's what Steven's deck is.
That's what Steven. Yeah, Steven is going to be resolving. He is going to be resolving a shield 2 whenever he wants every turn.
Yep.
It's pretty important. He's also never going to run out of cards because of Starlet, and we're just going to see a lot of. I mean, we've already gained quite a bit of momentum, and I think that it's just going to kind of continue to snowball.
Yep.
For the Steven side of the benefit.
Yeah, and by momentum, it's more that Steven has any infrastructure that will continue to grow over the course of the game. He's using these dice to draw cards and shield. You'll notice that Steven also has these little shield doohickeys. Are they Lego? I don't think
they're Lego.
Okay, little Lego shields that he's gonna be using instead of his tokens. Steven has his own style. He gets to. He's
It appears as though we convinced him to not play with Pokemon energies on stream.
But either way, when you see those are shields. But yeah, look at this. Steven, so Starlet has taken 7 damage. That's not 16. Or that's not within
10.
range.
It's like not even. Yeah, it's
it could. That is within range of a crazy nut draw right here, right now, right? Like
ambush CPR would eventually get there.
Yeah.
Or CPR ambush, I guess.
Or CPR.
CPR would be pretty...
CPR and Rilo activate, and then CPR and Ian
activate.
Yeah. Like, so there are definitely more... Like, one of the cool parts about Danielle's deck is she's always threatening something.
Yeah.
That said, she needs to actually draw those cards and actually, have time to play them and all that.
Absolutely. Looks like I do not see any chain plasma rifles in the hand for Danielle.
So that's actually really good.
Fantastic here. That's kind of how we needed to start this turn off.
In
order to be competitive.
Dosite Thug here fights another character, and if it has the same or, it deals its 2 damage, and then Enthusiastic Harmonist has 2 durability, so it's going to punch right back. There's our Harmonist. And so Danielle just paying 2 gems to remove Steven's yellow counter, which is good. Now, Danielle doesn't want to be just trading resources back and forth. But that one in particular was a big enough.
Yeah. I mean, you're trading. You're getting out ahead of 3 dice. One very good premium.
Yes. One very good premium specifically built to stop Danielle from...
Yes, exactly. The discard phases are very good because Danielle doesn't really have ways to draw cards. The sabotage phase also very good. Generally speaking, more impactful than a shield.
Yep. So Danielle is really on... more than most Manifold decks, she's on a limited number of cards. So any rend you see, making her discard cards is huge. And that's something that you can probably follow pretty closely and see if you're, there's probably a big correlation between amount of rend hitting your the Rilo Merchant deck and win rate.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's okay.
Big boy Energy Retracer.
Yeah.
My favorite card. So Energy Retracer, 4-drop, 1 dice, but it sabotages something.
What was that about Steven's deck not being the kind of deck that kills Rilo on turn 2?
Well, yeah, you're
round 2.
That's
so what happens when you retrace energy is you're going to roll
whole bunch of red dice.
Really ludicrous amount of red dice.
Yep. So this both stymies Danielle's progression towards killing Starlet, as well as creating a clock to punch Starlet right back.
Yes, indeed.
So I think Steven's doing as well as he can be expected to survive while growing, because that's really
absolutely yeah. You need to develop while not giving up too much.
Yep. Danielle was forced to use a 2 damage face to shoot the shield off Starlet, which is not where you want to be if you're Danielle.
It's actually massive for Steven that is the situation,
because Danielle can just get 2 more damage in here. Starlet's down to 6, and that's it. That's all the damage that Danielle's going to get through this round. She could probably modify 1 into 2 damage and then resolve that, which she's probably going to do.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it looks like. And that's 2 damage and then draw in Danielle's pool for the rest of the round. Steven, on the other hand, is just going to get some chip damage in.
Not going to modify our mental into 2 mental from that activation. Best.
I don't know. Take cover. I kind of love that Danielle's playing take cover. It's good. It's shown up and
it
good.
Has it's very effective.
So
for racing,
Rylo's going to survive, and that might be enough to let Rylo survive next round as well.
Yeah, it certainly could be. They pull a lot of red dice around, but
we have another Docite Thug. This time not fighting anything, just being a 2-drop that rolls red. That's fine. Roll the shield. Danielle's going to deal some 2 damage, draw a card, and then Steven is digging. Yeah. And then that's the end of the round. So just a little note on gameplay there. Steven could resolve his shield 1, and then Danielle digs in, and then Steven doesn't have much else to do. Instead, Steven chose to give up the shield 1, but he got the shield back by digging in, and Danielle didn't have anything to do anyway. So he gets the best of both worlds.
Indeed.
Just something to note for technical play.
And he also in this opportunity gets to go first in round 3, which makes a very significant difference.
Yep.
You know, it really limits the explosivity of Danielle's deck.
Yeah, and now that's cutting off Danielle's ability to go, well, maybe, to go like Hidden Blade, swiftly remove your shield, activate Rylo, get damage, kill Starlet before she does anything.
Yeah.
Now, if Danielle has Hidden Blade, which she doesn't, she has 2 cute to die, which is also fine.
Yeah, certainly not bad here.
So 2 cute to die, costs 4, rolls purple-blue, and says Arrival shield attached character. So she'll be both shielding and activating with E-Emergence ability. You might notice, by the way, that this deck, Danielle's deck, is very much built around E-Emergent. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
There's
full E-Emergent.
There's nothing in her. There's nothing in this deck that isn't taking E-Emergent into consideration.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
energy retracer.
The red dice. Okay. So that was the dice that was going to kill Starlet, and now it's not killing Starlet. It's instead just becoming more red dice for Steven. Gross.
We're putting the other counter down on
the probably on the other retracer because it's shielded. Is it shielded? I can't. No, it's not shielded. Never mind. He's putting on the Wasteland Requiem, which I didn't pull up before, but so Wasteland Requiem here, 3-drop, rolls red, puts a yellow counter on another support character you control or Eidolon. In this deck for Steven, I'm fairly confident just to put a yellow counter on another support character you control.
Yeah.
I don't think there are many, if any, Eidolons in his deck. That said, all of the cool things we were talking about in round 3 when Jeremy had this just don't matter for Steven. He's just playing it.
He's playing it.
He's just playing it because it's
okay, on right.
Yeah.
And Starlet's a druid, right? Or is Starlet an Eidolon?
Starlet is a druid. You're right, and that gets okay.
It's technically there's technically a use case.
And Steven is playing continued training.
Oh, continue training. This card's busted.
Yes. Best card in the game?
Not as good as I do.
So continue training puts a black counter on any character you control, and then when you activate it, it can either add a counter to something or remove a counter for something. And so you're totally right. Steven would be able to put a black counter on Starlet, activate continue training to put another one on. Great. Or Sylvestra. Well, if he puts it on Starlet, he would then use those counters to get back to it, which is kind of cool.
From the bans.
Yeah. But in this world, continue training is just great because it's going to come in and put a black counter, activate to add another counter somewhere else. So it's kind of a 3-cost that rolled a red and a black dice, which is probably going to fine.
Yeah.
And then next round,
now we start to go.
Yeah, it's another premium counter, and now it's even better than that. Card's great. Y'all should be playing it. So we're going to activate Starlet here. I think Starlet's not dying this round.
Starlet seems to be not dying.
So Sylvestra, remember that Sylvestra resolves the dice as though it shows shield?
Wait. Except, oh no, she is shielded, right? Okay.
Yeah, so Starlet's currently shielded, and once we do this, take off Starlet's shield, Steven has another dice to shield 2, which will also hit that Wasteland Requiem. Danielle takes her shield off again. Steven activates Sylvestra, probably. Maybe not. Probably, though.
I would have to.
And then resolve, I don't know, his damage 1 or something as...
Well, Starlet's actually not dead as is.
Yeah, but Danielle probably has a...
Yeah, playing around Overcharge is good, but...
I would play around Overcharge if I was Steven. Activate Sylvestra, put a counter on Starlet. Because one more activation with Starlet next round is, good.
It's excellent, yeah.
Yeah, you want that, especially because Starlet has the Prestige on her, so 3 premium dice next round. Yeah. And I think that Steven can, quote-unquote, force Starlet to survive.
Yeah.
Yes. Or he can, that's not really what I mean. What I mean is, it seems relatively free to play around Overcharge, so he probably should. Well, looks like he's just going to modify. And then, if Danielle doesn't have Overcharge, then whatever. Okay, so Danielle instead has Search and Destroy. Which will Sabotage 2.
Right.
And that'll hit the shields, and so Danielle will be able to push 2 damage through. No, because he'll just activate Sylvestra still. Where's back to Sylvestra? Great.
Or just back to Sylvestra.
Yeah, fine, great.
Yeah, but we can actually get value out of our thing because we don't have to play around Overcharge anymore.
Yes.
So now we...
So, Continuing Train is going to add a red counter to Wasteland Requiem.
It's to the Tracer.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's fine. You'll notice that Steven has both the D6 on there marking dice counters as well as the colored dice themselves.
Yes.
And so it's a bit busy. But
I actually quite like Steven's method of putting the dice on the cards and turning them to the cards.
I do too, until there's a bunch of dice counters and dice everywhere. You can't really see anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the only real problem with it for me. I usually put the dice underneath the cards so you can see what they are and then underneath them what they roll, but whatever.
To each their own.
To each their own, indeed. I'm not here to tell you how to play Manifold.
Well,
I'm here to tell you to play Manifold, but that's different.
Let's see. So we're going to see a pretty huge energy tracer activation here.
Yeah.
You have to imagine that Rylo's dying.
Yeah, because Rylo's at 9. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. There's a chance he does that. But Sylvester hasn't activated yet. We have a bunch of counters on it.
Sylvester. We have 3 more dice coming down. Presumably a full hand of cards that we can use to fish.
Yeah.
Is that draw one? Yeah.
You must do it anyway. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and once Rilo goes down, Danielle just has absolutely nothing going on, unfortunately. It's actually it's pretty depressing. Starlet could just survive this game.
Yes. Yes, she really actually could.
Yeah.
She's going to 2, 1, going to 1. And then if Rilo dies, what's Danielle doing? Just a single hero, nothing else in play against Steven's piles of dice. It's not great.
Yeah.
But this is exactly what Steven needed. This is the thing. This is the game plan Steven envisioned.
Oh, absolutely.
Where he just grows his board while trying not to die. And then once at a certain point you look down and you're not dead, then you have a huge
all of a sudden you're rolling. And it's like something, an element of this particular matchup that I hadn't really thought about is that you actually do get to develop a fast clock because of how many red dice your opponent creates.
Yeah.
Because you get to retracer them.
Well, yeah.
And so
you're telling me Energy Retracer is nuts and turns games around?
yeah. I mean, yes. But like,
But no, I do see what you mean. By not dying to their red
By
dice,
not
you
dying to-
also...
yeah, you actually do get to kill them fairly quickly because, like, while the Emergent Rilo deck doesn't have what I would call inevitability, it does have the ability to randomly do
Yes.
12 damage from nothing.
Yeah.
And so, like, the fact that you can actually end the game quickly because you're retracing is
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Like
Just make a bunch of red dice. It'll be great.
Yeah. And so we're not currently showing lethal.
Yeah.
Hello.
And
But
we still haven't activated Sylvestre.
Activate Sylvestre. You have
Maybe he forgot to. Maybe he forgot to activate. Maybe he forgot Sylvestre exists.
got that Sylvestre's card. Perhaps.
That doesn't sound like Steven to me.
It sounds very much unlike Steve. Perhaps it's because she's covered in dice. I
At which point this would be his own fault.
know what to say.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Sylvestre was activated and never turns... Great.
no, that would have been
Wonder if we have anything the
Fascinating.
table judge on that.
repeat the
Uh,
title.
Cool. Yeah.
okay.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I see. Something happened earlier that I didn't catch. Danielle missed a battle ready trigger, which would have been 2 more damage, which would be Starlit dead.
Starlet dead.
I mean, like, maybe I don't remember the exact scenario, but turning your 1 damage into a 2 damage somewhere along the line might have been the thing that mattered.
Yeah.
So we got a Hidden Blade. Hidden Blade's great.
Hidden
I
Blade.
want to talk about Hidden Blade.
Gigantic here.
So Danielle's going first because she dug in, and Hidden Blade is swift. So Danielle gets to play this swiftly, activate Rilo, make a bunch of damage. And Rilo's at 2, not 1.
Which
is
matters a lot.
Yes, because this means Rilo gets to take a damage to modify the damage, and then we've got battle ready. So we're make a bunch of dice, modify 3 to damage, and remove a shield from Starlit, and then
Starlet
it's
dies.
Danielle's turn.
Yeah. So Starlet is actually gonna get popped here.
I feel like I've talked about this exact thing like 4 times today,
Yes.
and it's just never happened. Here's the thing:
Yeah.
Yeah.
swift attachments
Swift.
are cool with the emergent.
Yes.
Are there any more in the game? I think this is the only one.
Is that one?
Should make more of those. All right. So it looks like that exact thing is going to happen. Danielle's going to resolve 1 damage. I don't know which dice it was. It looks like a
lot of
black dice.
That's a lot of damage.
And then Danielle's sitting here on a bunch of damage. And she could have like a chain plasma rifle and another hidden blade in her hand. She could just win the game. Maybe not literally. She could probably literally win the game this round. Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably not going to happen. But Hidden Blade makes some crazy things happen. Yeah.
I'm still baffled as to what happened
With Sylvestre.
last round.
Yeah, I'll ask the floor judge and see if anything
Yeah, so I'm super.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
yeah, okay. Well,
We don't need to bother.
yeah, fair.
We'll
figure it out later.
We can do an interview after.
Yeah, there you
Um.
So Danielle just acted. So looks like Danielle does not have the magical Christmas land.
landing from nowhere, which means we're probably losing.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it's a lot of red dice. Steven putting his continued training in with his locales is like a true professional. The Dryad Arbor of Manifold. Sleight of hand owned.
I ain't got 3 seconds.
Let's
Sleight of hand's kind of cool in this deck because E-Emergent is a rogue, and everyone always goes for Rilo
The
first.
secret is that every yellow hero is a rogue.
Or an artist.
Yeah.
Sylvester's an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, Sylvester, we're getting from the table. Danielle has no cards in hand.
Okay.
So her two cards in hand that she drew this round are Hidden Blade, Sleight of Hand. So that's not lethal. She could modify 2 to draw on the purple dice and the black dice. Which
probably not terrible.
probably not terrible.
It's like that's what we're doing.
No, she's gonna do. She's just going.
She's just
And that might be correct, but it also might be not greedy enough.
This turn is the problem. Okay, you're definitely
Orchestra
turn. That's
Orchestra.
a lot of dice.
What a card.
You're slow, but
Many dice were created on that day.
Very, very challenging for Steven to not find 17 damage here, I believe.
I bet you it's not that far out of the realm of possibility for Steven to find 14 damage. And then Danielle gets an untap. Yeah. I mean, with a blank hero and
Yeah, but if Steven still has 3 cards in hand, let's see.
Danielle has 9 damage and the ability to take off a shield.
No, yeah, I don't know. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, I'm like 20% Danielle survives this round,
okay.
right?
Yeah, sure.
But like that's the type of margins that this aggro deck works with.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Like you're not here to play long,
I mean, we have continued trading for more red dice. Like it's
Okay, you're probably right.
As the kids might say, it appears to be Jover.
Yeah, is that what the kids say?
I think so. Yes, good.
Good. Yeah, there aren't enough red dice at the table.
Red dice.
So they're gonna go get more red dice. Great. When that's true with the non-aggro deck,
yeah,
aggro deck's not having a good day.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Sylvestra
Ooh.
getting popped for quite a bit to the down. However, I believe Steven will be. Yeah, there's that 4th red die.
Great.
The Wasteland Requiem.
Sylvestra's really neat in that she is both defensive because she turns your stuff into shield while also being offensive, using your energy to remove like blanks or whatever. Because she can take like a white energy and a blank black dice and turn them into 2 damage, which is great. Which is like data.
Yeah.
And so being both defensive when you need her to be and offensive when
Steven 17 dice 5 lethal. Indeed. I wonder.
does Steven
To average 1 damage per die.
Most of them are red dice.
120 red die. Yeah. Whatever.
Because Danielle already dug in. Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay.
It's
pretty.
It is rather foregone conclusion.
When Steven has like 2 or 3 cards in
Steven
hand.
must have a minimum of 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of modifies. That's 9. Yep.
Yeah, I think we're coming to the conclusion that
8. I need to find it.
we need run 1 more damage, right?
are you like what?
I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
To be perfectly frank, looks like we need to find, because that's all modified at the bottom. So
How much health is that? So Sylvester has 4 health.
yeah, and I believe that Emergent is at 8. So now Emergent is at last.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. So the players are obviously at the when you take Emergent off the table, it's pretty clear what just happened.
Imagine that.
I think that Steven found pretty close to exactly enough damage.
It was just about exactly enough damage.
And in the world where it's not exactly enough damage, Steven probably
Steven could start
shields 1 instead of 2 damage.
Yeah.
At which point, because if he gets Danielle to 1, then she could draw like chain plasma or like
Yeah, just anything. Anything could do it.
anything could do it. Yeah, but Steven played smart. Well, by played smart I mean rolled a bunch of damage.
Yeah,
Same thing really in the end.
truly an outplay of the highest order.
And it looks like that's going to be our top 4.
So Steven will advance on into the finals yet again.
Steven will be playing in the finals against either Noble or Jeremy.
Indeed, we could. So, depending on the result of that match, we could see a player mirror of the last tournament's finals.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because the finals
Do you believe that Steven lost to Noble in the finals of the last tournament?
Yep.
So now, I guess we will...
Yeah, we'll be right
after a short break.
Shouldn't be too long. Noble and Jeremy both play fast, and this match is already over. So I'd imagine we're going to go out there, reset a little bit, come back, and be ready for the finals of our tournament here.